I may hate drama in my life, but I love talking about the drama in yours.
I may watch too much reality TV, but you're listening to me talk about it. Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Fumi.
And I'm B.
And you've tuned into another episode of, that show about reality TV called RealiTEA-V.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just go into how was your 7 days that just passed?
It was good. It was good as always. No complaints. What about you?
But besides having a scary driving moment that shook me, pretty good. Got to see my grandma over the weekend, bridal shower in LA. And that's pretty much it. And I mean, I work, but that's like the obvious.
Yeah.
And that's it. So let's just dive into our news of the week. So Ryan, who is Macy's baby daddy, got arrested again.
Oh.
He was arrested for the same shit he keeps getting arrested for. Like drugs. And paraphernalia. So that happened, obviously in the past couple days. But I wonder why he keeps getting arrested.
Because he has a problem he hasn't fixed.
True. But I'm just saying getting arrested is like to another whole... That's another extreme.
Either he's doing it around somebody who's snitching on him. He's doing it and operating a motor vehicle unsuccessfully.
We've seen that on camera.
Doing it and then if he's on probation, not caring that he has frequent check-ins. I feel like those could be the top three.
True. I mean, you never really know. Obviously has a problem.
Yeah, I highly doubt he's doing it and then checking himself in at the police station out of guilt.
Like, excuse me, I just came here to let you know that I just used some drugs.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you could take this hypodermic needle from me.
Yeah.
No, Vicky's not doing any such things. And then he does such thing and then try to get full custody of his child.
Yeah. That's
kind of madness is that. Anyway, I'm pretty sure Macy is like, God damn it. You know what? You're just giving me more and more of a reason to get full custody, visitation or supervised visitation at a visitation center.
Yeah.
I mean, Jen and Larry is already helping you out as much as they can, but it's getting to the point where you just can't be in the vehicle around him whatsoever. And it's always in a vehicle when he gets arrested.
Yeah.
So I don't even think I've been pulled over since college.
Yeah.
And I was like 2010, 2011.
Yeah.
Who gets pulled over this much? Just reckless.
Right.
And you got a new baby?
Yeah.
And a crazy ass, dumbass wife?
Right. Well, shout out to those cops for being on it.
I wonder if they have like their briefing every day. It's like, y'all see this car?
Yeah.
This is for Ryan. He's a douchebag. So if you see this car, just pull him over.
I mean, they are in a really small town, I think.
True.
So
I think they're in Tennessee.
Right.
Or something like that. Yeah. So, I mean, just...
Well,
come on now.
Hopefully he gets the help he needs this time around.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of drugs, Demi Lovato was rushed to the ER today because she was found passed out in her house for a suspected heroin overdose.
Yeah, that's sad.
So I'm really hoping that she gets more help. I mean, she's been very vocal in the past about her addictions and mental health and stuff like that. And I know she did a song called Sober where she admitted that she relapsed. So she's so young. She's only like, what, 25? Oh, yeah, duh. They did put her age all over the place. And that's extremely young because she's been sober for 6 years. So that puts her in her teens.
Yeah.
Since doing a whole bunch of stuff. I know some people argue that it's kind of like her parents' fault for putting her in the spotlight so young and blah, blah, blah. I don't really think that's necessarily the case. You have a lot of people who have been in the spotlight since they were 3, 4, 5 years old, like Drew Barrymore, for example. I don't think I've ever heard of her. Me?
Did you just use Drew Barrymore?
I did. I don't remember anything.
You know she's the youngest celebrity in history to ever have to go to rehab.
I did not know that.
I
didn't know that.
I know you did. It was just fun.
Well, scratch that.
Hey, I'm not laughing at you because I could tell you genuinely
did not know that.
But as soon as you said Drew Barrymore, I mean, look at Drew Barrymore. Girl, have you... It's because she's done such a great job in her adult life.
Okay, that's probably what it is.
Yeah, you have to kind of remember, like, wait, you were at 10, like, in rehab for, like, drugs and alcohol.
Really?
Yeah.
10?
To date, she's still, like, the youngest celebrity to ever have to go.
Holy shit. I know people are probably listening to the past like, bitch, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I was like, maybe this is going somewhere else.
No.
Wait, no. Hey,
I fully confess I did not know. Mm-hmm. I will take my L. Shit, I'm afraid to name anybody else's examples now.
Yeah.
That's just like me saying Robert Downey Jr. never had
That's why I was like, wait, girl, do you know? Oh, you really don't know.
I sure as hell didn't know. I did not.
Look at your memory. She's been...
Maybe because she was born in like the 70s and
and like her mom used to take her out to clubs and
I do think I vaguely remember Drew Barrymore herself talking about like my mom used to like take me out and stuff. But I didn't know it was, oh shit. Yeah. That's so fucked up. I can't really name anybody else because I'm afraid that there's some stuff that I do not know about their like past lives.
Yeah.
Or who else has even been in the spotlight that long. Yeah, I'm not even gonna go there. So don't fault me for my ignorance.
Oh,
I'm talking about these listeners.
Right.
What the fuck? They're probably just screaming, bitch, what the fuck? You so dumb. I'm like, well, I'm not sitting there trying to track everybody's past drug lives in back in the 80s. Anywho, moving on from drug news.
Yeah.
Oh, that was hilarious. I saw an article today that Sheree's leaving Real Housewives of Atlanta because they're lowballing her.
She's leaving? I heard she was fired months ago. But okay. You're leaving.
And this was from people.com, so
yeah.
I feel like it's a tad bit more credible than Media Takeout.
Yeah.
But it said specifically because they're like lowballing her. Which is... What does she consider lowballing?
That's what,
And what does she consider she's bringing to the table that's worth the amount that she wants? Besides, and then last season she really wasn't being like in the mix. She was just kind of sitting on the side. She'll say something, but just sit on the side.
Yeah.
Before she was really, really just starting some shit. But last season she really wasn't doing all that much. But I would like to know.
Yeah, that would be interesting to know the amount.
Yeah. I mean, is she getting money from other stuff though too? Maybe. Never mind. I don't know.
Maybe.
I mean, she got these joggers coming out.
Right. Maybe,
Joggers.
That's going to be quite profitable.
Oh, don't forget those rugs.
The rugs, the joggers.
I feel like she would sell more if she partnered with Joanne the Scammer selling rugs. Because I know, what was that, Super Deluxe, when they partnered with Joanne? I'm pretty sure they were flying off the fucking shows. But, I mean, that might be an idea. Tell Shabay, like, you need to go get Joanne the Scammer and try to sell some rugs. Because I feel like it'll sell. Everybody loved Joanne.
Yeah.
And I keep hearing stuff about Kenya not being on the show, being on the show, subliminally saying that she's not going to be on it, but then she'll say that was a lie. I don't really know what's going on, excuse me, with the whole Kenya situation. I personally can care less what she does. But in the wake of that, now there's rumors going around that Phaedra's going to come back. Yeah. So I don't know how that's going to play out. Apparently Portia has a new man.
Yeah.
I haven't really heard an update on Greg with his like cancer situation. Yeah. And that's pretty much, all of the Atlanta news that I have.
Then we'll wait for the trailer to drop.
Yeah, it's July. I feel like there'll be a trailer by late August, September. Yeah. Because it usually comes on in November. Mm-hmm. How I know that, I don't know. Yeah. But, yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah. So let's go on to the actual shows of the week. So we did not have a chance to talk about Real Housewives of Orange County last week. Mm-hmm. So it's been 2 episodes. Yeah. And the first episode was pleasantly good. Yeah. No one was arguing. Yeah. No one was mad. No one was telling people to eat their food. Like, it was just very nice. It was very different. Right. To see all the women coming together. And so there was an idea of doing this like ropes course to help build trust and bonding among women. And that went well, pretty successfully. Tamara mentioned that Eddie has AFib and she's scared about that. And he's only 45 and he had a procedure pretty much didn't work because he had other problems than the one they tried to fix. So he's dealing with that. So he can't do stuff that he loves, like riding the bike and working out. And that's really what he does. They own the gym together. So, and then Vicki's still Vicki, trying to get her man to marry her because she can't be by herself. Which is like, I mean, if you know Vicki, this is the 13th season of Orange County. Yeah. So if you know her, she just doesn't want to be by herself. But now her and Steve are living in her home together. Even though he still has like his house or whatever. I guess he's just there most of the time. Yeah. We have, oh my God, I'm drawing a blank. Kelly. Yeah. Who actually turned to be one of my favorites, even though in the beginning she was completely disgusting to me. Yeah. But I don't know. That's very rare for me to change my mind about somebody. But she's living her fucking life. Do you know her tagline? She was like, somebody better call animal control because there's a cougar on the loose in the OC. All right. So if you don't understand why I said she's living her life, just listen to her tagline. And she's just been like, I've been dating, going out, woo!
That's the way you should be.
Yeah, I mean, why not? Right. She's only like 44, 45. Like, she's still relatively young. Yeah. Like, if she has some eggs that are still frozen and she wanted some more kids, she probably could have. Yeah. But she's been dating, going out on the town, Quiet Woman, Laguna Beach, just living it up. Apparently she does week on, week off with her daughter, with her ex-husband. Okay. And then we have Shannon, who's still in the brink of trying to get used to being divorced, being a single mom in a smaller home. She went from 14,000 square feet to 4,000 square feet, her house that she's renting now with her daughters. Yeah. David's already with some other chick and she's not taking that all that well. She's still wearing her wedding ring. She doesn't want to take it off because it's like the end all be all. That's it. My family's done. Of course, Tamara's trying to help her transition a little bit more. It's like, okay, yes, it's hard. I know it's hard. I've done it twice. But you don't want to, like, dwell on it too long. Yeah. And that's it. That's the only not originals, but the ones that were there last season. Yeah. Then you have 2 new housewives, Emily and Gina, I want to say. Yeah. Gina is the one where her husband pretty much lives in LA. And then Emily is the one who's an attorney. Okay. So Gina, moving on to the episode of this week.
Mm-hmm.
Gina mentioned that her husband lives in LA pretty much during the week because he has some job in northern LA. I don't really know what that means.
Yeah.
Is that like Silver Lake area she's talking about?
Northern LA.
She just kept saying northern LA. Northern LA to me is probably like Silver Lake.
Yeah.
The other areas are drawing a blank right now. But I don't know. And then they asked her, like, what does she do? She's like, well, I don't know. They were like, well,
you don't know what he
You don't know?
How long have they been married? Well, it doesn't matter. They are married and you don't know what he does.
Yeah, so that's like Phaedra not knowing how far along she was with her pregnancy.
Right.
It's like, you should know these things.
You know, you just don't want to say it. But
right.
Okay.
So they have 3 young kids. I think the oldest one is, no, I think that was the other one.
Yeah.
Like young, like 6 or 7, like really young kids. And she's pretty much a single mom, making dinner and having dinner with the kids by herself and just calling him. And in her interview, she just tried to make it seem like, well, people have non-traditional marriages all the time. It works for us, blah, blah, blah. People go home. You don't know what's going on behind their closed doors. This is the same one where I announced an episode or 2 before and she was already getting divorced before the season aired.
He's clearly living a double life.
Yeah.
That's not even a... No.
Tamara's like, there's no way that he's going to have an apartment anywhere else.
Like, you don't know. No.
I know she said it was a great opportunity because they're originally from New York, and then that's when he got the job in OC, and then another great opportunity came, and that's why he moved to LA. It's like, okay,
guess what? Then we're gonna find us a nice place that's a little bit more north, that it's in between the OC and LA, but you are not having a separate living space 5 days out of the week, or even 4 days.
No.
Hell, not even 2 days out of the week away from me. No.
And she was like, well, my kids are really adjusted here and I like the area and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, so you're the one that didn't want to be with your husband? And he just said, well, fuck it. I'm just going to go because I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that. Either we all going or we all staying. We're not separating at any point in time. It's not even like he's like a professional basketball player or something where for a fact he has to travel. He doesn't have to travel. He just pretty much has an apartment that's probably down the street from wherever he works, and he goes home and he can just be with the boys, his coworkers, and be happy hour and be all night out every night.
And then it's like, as a mom, and I don't even have any kids, but no, you're not about to go and have all the fun and live your single best life, and I'm sitting here slaving with your 3 kids. Like, no, I already had to push them out of me. Now I have to do all of the work because you are bringing home the money. No. Sit your ass in the traffic. You can go to happy hour until about 7:30.
They got reverse happy hour.
Bring your ass home until, like, so yeah, just, okay. But it's your life.
I mean, we already see the result of that. It wasn't gonna last very long.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was weird. She was just like, don't worry about us. We're doing good. Worry about yourself. And it's like, no, you really should be worrying about yourself and not what other people might think about you.
Yeah.
Because that's just, and then who's fucking who? Right. If I don't see my husband possibly 2 days out of the week, you really think he's just in northern LA just keeping his dick to himself?
Yeah. No.
That's not a possibility. It's crazy. But moving on to the other new housewife, Emily. I think that's her name. I might be saying it wrong. But she's an attorney, married. Her husband apparently came from money, but she's requested that he works just to show their kids, like, hey, don't be lazy. Which I think I understand where she's coming from. Depends. But she wants to have another kid. They have like 9 embryos frozen. Her sister actually had to have kids for her because she had something crazy like 6 or 9 miscarriages. Mm-hmm. Even had a set of twins that she carried all the way till 4 months and lost them. So her sister was like, you know what? I'll just carry them for you. So each kid, her sister, that's like some real sisterly love right there.
Yeah. I better not have to work for the rest of my life after doing that shit.
I mean, if you volunteer. She didn't ask. You can't do that.
I fucking carried 6 kids. It ain't, oh my God. I can't imagine.
No, 6 kids?
How many kids of hers?
No, she lost 6 miscarriages. The housewife herself. Her sister carried, I think there's twins, so 2 pregnancies. And she volunteered to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, still, have your rich husband write me a check. I volunteer to do this for a check.
That's not volunteering.
Well.
You're saying pretty much hire me.
Yeah.
I would much rather you say hire me than to say I volunteer as tribune
for a fee. Let me find out I did this out of the kindness of my heart. I'm so happy. And then like at dinner, you know, such has like 60 million in the bank, but you know, we live regular life. Excuse me?
Now, of course, I hope her sister was like, husband, my sister is going out of her way to make sure that we have children. I feel like we need to make sure that she's okay. Mm-hmm. I definitely feel like Gina should have talked to her husband since he comes from money and do something for her. Right. But I'd be damned if my sister comes to me, say, you know what? I see everything that you've been going through. You lost all these kids. And you know what? I just
want you to end up in a lifetime situation.
I just want you know, do the godly Christian thing and carry your babies for you. Oh my God, thank you, sister, so much. I appreciate you so much. She's like, yeah. So I need you to write me a blank check. That's so horrible. It's like, wait, what? Are you volunteering or are you want me to hire you as a surrogate?
Volunteering my services for a fee. I will say that to the day I go to my grave. I volunteer my services
for a fee.
But that's loving.
Oh my God. Hopefully they're that close. He's like, bitch, why didn't you just say that from the beginning? Don't be so coy. You just come out and say, I can do it, but you know, I'm carrying babies that ain't mine.
And I know y'all good for it.
Can you help us, sister? I'll help you out. You help me out. See, that's how I would have approached it. Like, bitch, you need a uterus. I need some coins.
I need to quit this job.
I have the uterus. You have the coin. How about we switch?
Right, happily.
You know, I would respect that approach much better. Anyway.
Second go around. I mean, we can always renegotiate this.
I mean, it was twins the second time around, too. Look on your face.
Oh, bitch. I didn't volunteer my services for this. So you already know what the fee is going to be.
I mean, who knew the egg was going to split?
Right. Oh, yeah.
I believe that they're twins. They're 3 years old, the twins, and then she has like a 5-year-old.
Okay.
So, yeah, but she wants another kid. Her husband's like, fuck that. No. She's like, well, I worked so hard for these embryos and blah, 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 blah. He was like, well, I mean, maybe you can get a kid with someone else. And she was like, well, the eggs are with you. He was like, oh, yeah, nah. No, we're not doing that. And I'm thinking, what is the real reason why? I mean, they have the money.
Yeah.
They have the space. They can afford a nanny if they wanted to. The embryos are already there. They're already girls.
Shit, he just don't want to do no more.
He don't. He doesn't.
And he's probably not even the most hands-on out of the two. But he's like, I don't want my sleep interrupted anymore. I don't want to go through this.
Well, he was like, well, you have to think about it. If we have another kid, the oldest one and youngest one is going to be like 5 years apart. You have to start all over. I'm thinking 5 years?
That's not a lot, but okay.
3, 4, 5. Man, that's not. It's not like they're 15 years apart.
Yeah.
Like, you're literally just ending diapers.
I think he probably is like, you know what? We have a 5-year-old. Then we got lucky with these twins. 3 kids. I'm good.
Right. I mean,
let's get these on their way. And
I don't know. See, I would love to know the real reason why. Besides 3 is enough. He was like, just think about the ones you have.
Man, just look at this.
She was like, I do. She's like, I just want, the oldest, I think, is the only girl. She's like, I just want her to have a sisterly bond like me and my sister did, and blah, blah, blah. And then they're just there. I worked so hard for it. I've been through so much.
Yeah.
I mean, 9, 6, or one of those numbers.
Yeah.
I want to say 6 miscarriages. Jesus. Pregnant with twins, 4 months, and you still lose them. I don't know. That's pretty tough. And I feel like she probably feels like, look, we have the capability of having more kids. I don't see why not.
Right.
And money is not an issue. It's not like he didn't say, well, we can't afford it. Yeah. See, that takes the cake for me. We can't afford it.
All right.
All right. But if you can't afford it.
I mean, he'll sound like an asshole, but he could just say, I don't feel like being a dad to no more kids.
I respect that too. I just respect honesty.
Right. Like, I don't want to be nobody else's parent. I'm good where I'm at.
No matter how much of an asshole he sounds like.
It's like, well, you can't argue with that.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it. That was kind of weird. So in this second episode, Vicki decides that she wants to apologize to Eddie Judge so fucking bad because she wants to finish the building blocks that is her friendship with Tamara, and the last missing block is a relationship with Eddie. Jesus. She feels like she cannot be fully friends with Tamara until Eddie gives a full thumbs up. Eddie is like, I can get two fucks about her.
Yeah.
I don't even understand why you still want to be friends with her.
But that's your life.
Yeah.
Keep her away from me.
That's pretty much how...
What I would expect dang near any husband.
Right. Yeah. Any man with sense.
Yeah.
That want to stay out of women business.
Yeah.
Unlike Patricia. A.K.A. Peter. Yeah. So Tamara and Eddie were out enjoying some new restaurant called Oak and Laguna. I put that in my memory bank just in case I'm out there. And Vicki called from her Maserati and wanted to know where she was. She told where she was. And she's like, well, I was just wondering if you can and Eddie can give me like 20 minutes to your time. And she's on speaker. And then Tamara looks at Eddie and he was just like, did like a shrug like this. Yeah. And I kind of took it as, well, I don't care.
Yeah.
But when she got off the phone, he was like, why would you invite her to interrupt our dinner? She was like, but you shrugged. He was like, that was a shrug of why the fuck is she calling you? I was like, you got to get your shrugs together, you know?
You should have shrugged and said no. Like,
yeah, shaking your head would be better than a shrug. So, of course, she walks him in a fur coat. She said she was cold in the morning.
What's the weather like that? I just have to.
Dad was like, are you... polar bear? Like,
right, like,
what's going on here? She's like, I was cold in the morning. I was like, well, bitch, it's hot now. And you're still wearing it. She was wearing it in the car. Just furred up. And so she gave her normal, exaggerated, very animated apology. And even on her way there, she was talking to Kelly and she was just kind of going over how she wanted to apologize. And even Kelly was like, well, you can't say that part. Just say you're sorry. Don't bring up, well, she did stuff to me and blah, blah, blah.
So now I have to bring you in it?
Yeah. She did really good. Yeah. Really, really, really good. And she said, I would like you to read something that I got from the Bible, from Deuteronomy and Proverbs. Eddie looked like, what the fuck? I'm not the Jesus one. That's my wife.
Yeah.
But when she pulled it out her purse, which I don't know why she had it in her purse, but it was there. But when she read it, it was like, damn, bitch, you really did some research on this. She was reading down scriptures like, don't do something if it's going to hurt family and friends. Don't do something if you can't confirm it. Don't do something, blah, blah. And it was like a scripture for each one. Yeah. I was genuinely impressed. I was like, And she apologized. Eddie said, cool, just have to understand. It's going to take time. You know, it kind of made a he's like, I can give two fucks, but it caused a rift in our relationship with me and Tamara. Tamara explained how her kid came home from school, was like, oh, your friend was like, I didn't know your stepdad was gay. Yeah. And then Vicki comes in and say, well, you said some really bad stuff about me too. So, yeah. And so it was just like a crazy thing. So this leads Vicki to go to Kelly's new place, which is in Laguna. She wore the same damn fur coat and went to Kelly's house. And Kelly was like, I've been hearing a rumor that you've been like going on double dates with my ex-husband. She's like, no, I haven't. But then she said, well, I had a barbecue and he was there and a friend was there and I don't know what happened after that. It's none of my business. And she's like, so you didn't tell me? She's like, no, why would I tell you? And she was like, because you're my friend?
But you were oh my God.
But get this. Mind you, she said, I didn't have anything to do with this. She kept saying, I didn't hook him up. Yeah. He was at my party. My friend was at my party. They went and got together. It's none of my business. But then the bitch exclaims that I'm close to him and we just went out. She's like, you guys went on double dates? She was like, we got close to him. Like, what am I supposed to do?
How?
So she went as far as having double dates.
That is
with Michael and this girl.
I was like, well, he just came to my house and that was none of my business. It's like, but it's none of your business here to tell Kelly that her ex-husband is coming over to your house for a barbecue. Yet it was your business to tell Kelly that Shannon's husband was hitting her and Tamara's husband might be gay and all the other rumors and why you bought Gretchen on an episode to, divulge all of the other housewives' tea last season. And it's like, but the one time that you really should have opened your mouth to the one person who actually was your friend when nobody else wanted nothing to do with you.
Not anyone else.
No need to even mention it.
And Kelly even came at her like, this is what I've been hearing. I just want to kind of hear what's going on. Yeah. And Kelly was like, that's fucked up. Like, that's not being a friend. A friend would have just at least told me. She was like, you left him. Yeah. You said you're dating, aren't you? So why do you care?
And you got mad at Tamara for just saying, I don't like Brooks. Like, that is why I don't care if Vicki finds, well, there is a cure for cancer. I don't care if Vicki publicly gives the cure for cancer. I will still think she is you're just not shit at your core. And because you're too old to not know that, like, okay, that's crossing a line. And that if you didn't think that, if your friendship to Kelly didn't mean nearly as much as you try to portray on the show, if you really thought in your 55-year-old brain that it was not okay to tell Kelly, yes, I'm going on a double date with your ex-husband, who you literally just divorced not even a year ago. Yeah. And father of your kid. And he's at my house and we're having barbecues and we're now really good friends, then there is seriously something wrong with you. And there is nothing you can say to convince me otherwise.
I mean, obviously you thought it was bad enough that you felt like you didn't want to tell her. You can't use her as not being over it as an excuse of why you didn't tell her. I mean, that's just kind of, I don't know. Of course, first of all, how is he at the barbecue and not Kelly?
Yes. These are questions that need answers.
I don't think Steve and Michael got really close. Right. That she didn't mention.
But let Kelly have a party and Brooks is there.
Oh, Brooks and Don.
Right. Let somebody have a party and Don is there. Like,
I really like Don.
It's just...
It's fucked up. And so she was like, you're making it about you, Kelly. It has nothing to do with you. She was like, what are you talking about? Like,
oh my God.
And she was like, you're just still in love with him. And it's like, bitch, what? It has nothing to do with any of that. She's mad that you broke girl code. That's pretty much what she's upset about. You could at least told her, like, so yeah, I just invited him because I thought we was cool, but apparently him and my friend been hooking up. I had nothing to do with it. But then you took it further and said, hey, let's go on double dates. And you still didn't tell her.
And that's what people said about Vicki since day one. Mm-hmm. When she gets a chance to just turn on you and do some evil shit to you, she's gonna do it. And now here we are 2 years later. She's going on double dates with your husband. With your ex-husband.
Yeah, she's like, you know what? You could just leave. And she pretty much kicked her out. Yeah. And she's like, I can't believe I was just talked to like that. Mm-hmm. No one talks to me like that. She's going down the street.
People always talk to you like that, Vicki. Don't ever try to.
But she's talked to people. She's screamed to the mountaintops at Gretchen, at, what was her name? Lauren? The blonde one. Yeah. I forgot her name.
Never screamed at Lydia. Lizzie. Mm-hmm. The only person she did scream back at, but didn't work really with, was Megan.
Tamara. Yeah. She's pretty much screamed at everybody.
Right.
And now you got Kelly to.
Yeah. And you're like, can't believe she talked to me. People have always. Okay.
Because she's always doing something to where she doesn't she never understands what she's doing wrong. And then I think when she apologizes, I don't think she still understands what Aries. She did. She's just apologizing so she can stop hearing about it.
Yep.
And that's
then
it.
The next season will, even though every fucking season always starts with Vicki trying to make amends
with somebody.
Next season's going to be, well, I'm going to try to fix things with Kelly, so we can go back. I'm just tired of hearing about it. And I'm really tired because it's like you're too damn old for it. It's not even entertaining anymore. Now it's just sad.
Nope, this is...
You can't even have one friend that you don't screw over.
No, yeah. She screwed over Shannon. She screwed over Kelly. She screwed over Tamara. She screwed over Lori. I want to say that's her name. Yeah, she's pretty much screwed everybody. And now it's 13 seasons, right?
Yeah.
It's getting to the point literally half of the seasons that exist in all of franchise history.
Yeah.
Is literally Vicki falling out with all her friends. Because the whole initial Brooks thing, that was a while ago.
Yeah, it was like 2-3 seasons ago.
That's a cancer part. It was, But when they first started dating, that's when Gina was still popping up here and there.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago. And then the whole cancer thing came 3 years later.
Yeah.
And she was just not.
Yeah. In the words of the Countess, money cannot buy you class. Because the fact that you are 55 years old, I'm pretty sure you are AARP you qualify for AARP. And you're still sitting here doing shit that you should have learned at 16 to 18. This is what you don't do to friends. And you're still just, okay.
Fucking shit up.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, she's still trying to get this man to marry her.
Oh, God. Okay.
It's really weird. I know there was a preview for the rest of this, the trailer, and he got up and walked off somewhere because he got tired of her bringing up the whole marriage thing, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I get when you're older, you're like, look, I'm not one to be coy. I want the ring. But
this is Vicki, though.
Yeah. It's you can't. That qualifies at every age. You can't just be, I want a ring. I want a ring. I want a ring. I want a ring. Okay.
It's not that she wants a ring because she feels like she's done long enough in the relationship to deserve it. She wants a ring because she doesn't like to be by herself. That's the difference with Vicki. And it's a problem. Because one of the huge things that older women tell younger women is be okay with being by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And she just does not know how to be by herself.
Yeah.
She's had...
It's crazy. You're not okay with being by yourself, but you screw over all your friends at every chance you get.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Don, you just weren't happy in that relationship. So in essence, you just pushed him away. And then you even admitted to having affairs on him. Brooks was just...
full of shit.
Just all the way.
Like, what about... I never really got what about him she really liked.
Affirmations.
That's right. Love and affection.
Cannot forget that. Yeah. Nothing about her surprises me at all anymore. So,
no.
Best of luck to them on that season. I feel sorry for them.
Yeah, so we'll see what transpires for the rest of the season. Shannon was in Mexico with her girls, and she was like, let me just invite people. So she's inviting Tamara, Vicki. Mm-hmm. I don't know if Kelly went, because I remember all this stuff popping up on social media in real time when it was happening. And I feel like all of them wind up going. So I'm pretty sure there's going to be drama in Mexico. And yeah, that's the gist of that. Those two first episodes of Orange County.
Well, best of luck to them.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of yelling. Especially with people like Kelly.
Yeah. Well, Kelly, I hate to say it, but you were warned. You were warned.
Had the most amount of warnings that anybody could possibly have for a person.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yes, you do want to have your own judgment of someone on your own accord. But if everybody around you is telling you that there's a problem with this one person, and these are people that have been knowing her for 10 plus years, then you kind of need to just put that in the back of your mind. Like, let me just be careful. Let me tread lightly.
Right.
And now look what the bitch did.
Right. And then you probably didn't, you probably was like, well, I ain't going to tell her my most personal thoughts. But then she went and found another way to screw you over. So it's like people like Vicki, you gotta really keep them as like an I see you when I see you type of person.
A person that don't have your phone, you don't have their number in your phone.
Which I know is hard to do when you filming. But I feel like it would be, I don't know. Like if I was on there, Vicki would probably be like, I feel like you don't like me. I just want to keep my distance.
Right. I feel like you never really get a chance to know me.
Just want to keep my
I really
distance.
don't want to get a chance to know you.
Yeah.
I'm fine with things the way that they are now.
Yeah.
I mean, we can go on trips, cool, but I don't feel like I want to divulge any of my personal information to you because you're going to use that against me eventually. And I don't want to have to not try to refrain from beating your ass.
Yeah, and it's like even with Kelly, it's not even personal information. You just found a way to befriend her ex-husband and then start going on double dates with him and your friend.
But the way Vicki operates, I'm pretty sure now that they have gotten to this place, she is the one that's going to start spreading shit about Kelly, because Kelly would tell Vicki, remember all those conversations about, I don't want to get a divorce?
Yeah.
And she's crying and getting massages together.
Yeah.
That's what she tries to say, oh, I really care about you, and gives you casseroles and stuff. She even ordered food and sent it to Tamara's house for Eddie after his surgery and stuff.
Keep that unseasoned shit over there.
I don't think she made it though.
I'm pretty sure she ordered it from an unseasoned restaurant.
I hope not. Not in Laguna. Well, I don't know if it's Laguna. I think they still live in
Kodo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anywho, but yeah, that's just kind of, so I would be surprised if she does that type of shit. I feel like Vicki was talking shit when it actually happened and they were going back and forth on social media.
Yeah.
So she's just one of those really conniving people. It's like, I cannot tell you any of my business because you get mad at me a 1 second and you want to bring up all this shit that I told you.
Yeah.
And I don't have anything to do with that. So no, you can be lonely by yourself, Vicki. And try to get your third marriage. So whatever. Anywho, moving on to the next show. So, Teen Mom.
Mm-hmm.
It was so dramatic.
Of course.
With not one, but two storylines were very, 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 very dramatic.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, that storyline was more so Brianna and Jenelle. So with Brianna's situation, you know how Javi went to Miami anyway when they shouldn't have, and she wound up letting him stay to take care of her with all that. So Brianna wound up FaceTiming her mama and told her mama, she said, why is he there?
Yeah.
Like, he don't need to be there. You got a nurse. You got other people coming in and helping you. He don't need to be there. She's like, well, I just feel like I feel comfortable with a familiar face and blah, blah, blah. She's like, don't make me come down there. She's like, no, I don't need you to come down here because that's going to start problems and blah, 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 blah. Roxy wasn't fucking having it.
Yeah.
So the next day she had a surgery. She's all out of it in pain and crying. Where's my mom? My mom's not answering my phone. 2 seconds later, Brittany calls a friend. It's like, can you open the door downstairs? And she was like, oh, you're here?
Yeah.
So they walk up, brush past Javi, don't look at him, say hi, nothing. And she starts crying like, Mom, you were answering your phone and blah, 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 blah. Should have Roxy. And then Javi's like, why are they here?
Why are you here? Right.
I feel uncomfortable. I'm not staying here. Right?
Get out.
So he's like literally packing his backpack to leave. And Roxy walks her mama bear ass up in there. She was like, hello.
Right.
How are you?
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised you're here.
Right.
He was like, well, I mean, I told her I was going to take care of her. She was like, you know, I like you. I think you're cool. I think you're sneaky and conniving.
Right.
And she just started going in like, you're only doing this because of cameras. She's like, we're not acting. Me and my daughters are real. We're not acting for this shit. You just doing it for the cameras and get pretty much clout and all that kind of bullshit. And he was like, okay, like, you know, she's like, you're just here. And he was like, I'm not here for cameras, like, blah, blah, blah. She said, you doing what you did with Kale 2 seasons ago. Now you try to put my daughter into it.
Right.
You try to pull this whole deployment in. She was like, yeah, I understand that shit happens. But what the fuck? You over here trying to get married real quick. You over here affecting the kids. Yeah, you say all this shit to my daughter. Like, going in just like a mama should. I mean, honestly. And he wound up leaving, was like, I'm not taking this shit.
I didn't come here for this. Right.
Yeah, you came
Damn right.
Yeah, he was like, well, I'm here because we had a conversation and she said I could stay so I could take care of her and blah, 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 blah. She's like, well, yeah, I mean, you're not really needed.
You're not needed.
We're here now. So, mind you, Nova's dad, stayed at the house to help, you know, Brittany and Roxy with the kids.
Yeah.
Of course, Brianna told her mom how she was mad about that. And she was like, well, I feel mad because you didn't, like, tell me. And she was like, that's Nova's dad?
Right.
And then when they were still FaceTiming, when she was still in Orlando, she was like, well, what's Devon doing? She said, taking care of his child. Like, calm the fuck down. Well, where did he sleep? In your bed? Like, she was like, he's doing what he's supposed to do. He's taking care of his child. He's doing a good job. Just chillax. So because all of them were in the house, they were in this Kia Sedona. I want to say it was Roxy, Devon, Brittany, Nova, and the baby all headed down to Miami.
Oh my goodness.
And so Devon had his headphones in the front seat like, this ain't my business. This ain't my business as they're talking. And then it's awkward because Devon walks in and is like, hey, what's up to Javi? And Javi was like, what is he doing here? I'm like,
what are you doing
here? You're the only person that shouldn't be there. You're the only person that's not directly connected to that little family right there. Devon can be there all he wants. He's with his daughter.
Right.
So go ahead and leave. And so she had breasts done over again, a mini tummy tuck, and then deflating her ass. So I know she was in all types of pain because she did every inch pretty much of her body except for her arms and legs, lower legs.
Yeah.
So I hope she got plenty of Percocet prescriptions. That's what I would have asked for. Like, y'all over here trying to take all this stuff out of my body. I'm going to need the good stuff. Percocets, please. Mm-hmm. And that was the gist of that. Oh, wait. What did Brittany say? She was like, call me Mr. Captain Save-A-Ho, like singing while Javi was singing. She's like, Mom trying to be over here trying to be Captain Save-A-Ho. And so I was like, what's Captain Save-A-Ho? Because you're over here trying to save my sister. So Brittany, she's always the most logical out of everyone, even though she's so harsh with her words sometimes. She was like, well, I talked to Javi. She was like, well, you need to talk to Brianna too. Like, he's not the only person you got to talk to. You got to talk to her too. Yeah. Because she let him stay. Right. And then she was crying and and then he gave her a hug, and then she was like crying and holding him. I'm like, what are you doing? Yeah. Like, you said that what he did was mad disrespectful. He told you to your face that if he could have a bitch live with him and move to Dover, he could. Mm-hmm. And you already had another ex coming. You already had a nurse helping. There was no point of him being there. Yeah. Period. Lord. So that was that storyline. Then the storyline of Jenelle. It was a huge topic, even when it first happened in the media. But Jenelle was in the car with Jace. They kind of mentioned NRA in the last episode because Jace saw like an NRA car. He asked what it was or whatever. So they're driving down the highway, and he was an asshole of a driver, was like tailgating, cutting them off to the point where she had to slam on the brakes, and you could see the car seat in the back like flip. Yeah. So that's how hard she had to put on the brakes. Right. Which happens. Like, people are just assholes or whatever, and he was just like cutting them off. The part where she fucked up in this whole situation, this bitch followed him all the way to his home. And then she was like she put the window down, but before she even started talking to him, she reached for something, and it was her firearm. And she put it like right between her leg and the little middle section part. And she's like yelling at him. And then I think she backs up and she hits his mailbox. Now, if a bitch followed me home and now you're destroying my property, now I'm about to go after you. You followed me all the way to my house. I'm about to follow you. So now you're destroying property. Yeah. So I guess he called the police.
Then at that point, you're on my property. So exactly. If I have a gun, I'm going to my house and I'm just shooting at the car. And then I got to find out later, you had your son in the car. But it's like, you fucking followed me to my house, and then you ran over my mailbox. I don't know if your windows are tinted. I don't know who's behind that car. Yeah. So I'm just thinking, fight or flight. I have to save myself and whoever else is in this house. Mm-hmm. But yo, dumbass, like, I understand you're frustrated. That's why it's called road rage. Mm-hmm. But you have to know, especially when you have your kid in the car, you have to know when to be like, fight. And then you have to know when to be like, flight. And when you have your kid in the car, you got to be like, you know what? Fuck it. It's not
flight is definitely the way to go.
Because just like they didn't know you was packing, you didn't know what they were packing. You didn't know what they had in their car. Exactly. He could have some in his car. And as soon as he got out, just unloading in your car. Mm-hmm.
So what he did was get his ass back in his truck and blocked her in to where she couldn't leave and waiting for the police. And she's like, and she calls David, like, oh my God, he's blocking me. He hit my car. It was just so much the music of the show, like dramatic. And then he was like, what, where are you? He was like, I'm at his house. He was like, why the fuck why did you follow him? Yeah. He was like, you don't follow a grown ass man to their house. No. And because he said that, she hung up on him.
You don't. And then you have your kid in the car. No.
So I guess after like he actually hit the car and she was trying to get out, that's when she actually pulled the firearm off the holster. Of course, MTV blacks it out. Yeah. And then the next scene is her finally getting out of that. Oh, he's like, don't you pull the trigger. Don't you fucking pull the trigger. Something like that. And then she finally gets out. And it was like a dirt road. So she had to literally bust a U-turn. He was blocking her. So she finally gets down the dirt road. And guess what? Now he's following her.
See, and then because I have my baby in the car, I'm going to feel obligated to have to pull the trigger on you because I don't know what you got planned for me now that I'm blocked in.
Yeah.
So, in my defense, now I'm just like, if I was in her dumbass mindset of like, I'm about to follow you home, now you got me and my kid trapped somewhere, I'm thinking, I have to shoot you just to save my baby because I don't know what you're about to do.
Yeah, I've heard people following people. I have a confession, I follow somebody myself, but I never would follow someone to their private property. Yeah. And I wouldn't get out of the car.
No.
It's just a means of, I need your license plate and see what the fuck you fucking with. But you got to understand that people are crazy. You feel like you crazy, somebody else is going to be just as crazy or more crazier than you.
And then you do shit like that, you wouldn't even get hit. It would be your kid that would get killed. Exactly. And then he's in the front seat.
Mm-hmm. So he's following her, and I guess he eventually gets off the road, and then she gets pulled over because I guess he had already called the police on her. So the firearm is back in between her leg and the middle console again, right? It's like a baby blue color, so it is very visible to see. The sheriff comes up to the window, and she's stop doing that crying she usually does. Yeah. And then, of course, sheriff sees the weapon. He said, okay, well, I see your firearm. Can you do me a favor and not reach? I said, look at this fucking white privilege.
Look at
this is disgusting.
Because that car would have been lit up as soon as they would even got.
He would have pulled out his firearm.
It's a black person? Gun? Oh no, we've got to be ready.
He would have pulled out his firearm because he saw the firearm, even though she wasn't reaching for it. Yeah. Now the part that was worse than that is that she's crying whatever and blah, 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 and explaining the situation. He looks at the front of the truck because she told him mind you, she left out the part where she hit the mailbox. Yeah. She just said I followed him and then he blocked me in. That's what she told him. Yeah. And so the sheriff tells Jace okay, we're just going to talk back here. Nothing's going on. So, and then when she gets ready to get out, she just, mind you where the firearm is. Yeah. She reaches to take her seatbelt off. That sheriff didn't flinch. Mm-hmm. He didn't say go slow. He didn't say what are you doing. He didn't do any of that. Yeah. And I was like, within 60 seconds, her white privilege just saved her life. Mm-hmm. Because he knew the firearm was there. It was very close to her reach at any point in time. And he wasn't really guessing that something was going to happen to him. Yeah. Because he's dealing with the white female with the kid in the front seat. Mm-hmm. So, and another thing that I personally didn't even really think about it at the time when I was watching it, Jace is in the car by himself. Where do you think that firearm is? It's still there. It's still in the console area. So he's on the car by himself, and he winds up calling Barbara. Of course. And he's on his phone because he has his own cell phone. And he's like, well, my mom was talking to the officer and
pulled out a gun.
And she pulled out he followed us and she pulled out a gun. And then he said, don't you fucking shoot. And of course they bleeped it out. And I'm like, sometimes you do have to, and I don't even think you have to be a parent to understand this. Sometimes you have to figure out, is this worth it? Yeah. Is me following him worth it? Is it me following up until I see is his home worth it? Yeah. Is it worth me pulling out a firearm in front of my child? Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter if you are a concealed carry license holder or you felt threatened or anything like that. At some point, it's like you should have left it at him getting off the freeway and you pull to the side and give the officer any information that you can give him. Yeah. That's it. You didn't need to follow him to his house. Because Lord knows, if I had a firearm, AR-15, whatever the fucking case may be, the picture she took in her house with all the guns and stuff that they had, bitch, I can have that too. Yeah. And now you're knocking over my mailbox? Bitch, I'm coming for you. I got insurance to take care of the truck. Yeah. We can get that fixed. But what you not, and then you have to realize that this is a grown ass man that's being threatening towards you and don't give a fuck.
Right. So that alone should let you know that either he drunk, either he just crazy, like,
or he don't give a fuck about you and your life and whoever else is in the fucking car.
Yeah.
She could have had the baby.
Yeah.
So and because it was with Jace, of course and she's like, yeah, I have 3 cameras in this car. They has everything. And it's like, well, that's all the more reason why you shouldn't have been following him, because you have evidence he was being erratic. There's no doubt about that. But once he got off the freeway and they put MTV, Jenelle chose to follow him. Like, once you follow him, you was in a... And then, let's say you got down the dirt road and you see that there's no way to get a U-turn. Bitch, stop. Reverse. Think about it.
I'm gonna get your ass another time.
Yeah. Curse.
Even if you wanted to go get your husband and come back, drop the baby off, and then you go and
she waited until the guy was following her after she left and called the executive producer. I need you to drop him off.
Well, what the fuck you expect me to do?
It's not funny, but it's like, bitch, you should have did that in the first place.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any kind of sense. Crazy. And then you leave your child with the firearm in the fucking car.
And then me just being the panicking person, once you block me in, okay, somebody has to get shot. Because now I'm really like, I go into Lifetime ID channel mode. Like, oh no, the shit's about to hit the fan. So I didn't call Joe bluff. So now I gotta deliver. Either you...
You like playing chicken with your life.
Yeah, it's like, okay.
Like, who can figure out they're big and bad and all that kind of stuff.
I know I bought a gun to this gunfight. I'm not trying to wait to see what you bought. A bomb. No. Just a grenade.
I don't even need to... I don't want to give myself enough time to figure out what you brought to the gunfight. I'm going to make sure that I end this sooner than later. And then...
But then it's even... Then you do shoot him. It's like, well, how did you even get here? Mm-hmm. Now your kid and seeing you kill
Yeah, I think when she pulled out the firearm, that's when he allowed her to be able to go. Yeah. But he still followed her. So obviously he knows that you have a firearm, but he still decides to follow you for...
That alone is like, you're a crazy motherfucker. Because most people are like, you know what? It's cool. All right. Fuck you.
Let me slowly backtrack.
He knew, like, you could have pulled an Angelina Jolie and just said pop pop, and he didn't. Even
wanted,
he didn't even care.
No, not at all. He just said, "You better not shoot that fucking firearm."
How you gonna threaten? See,
he was, "I'm gonna die today."
Yeah,
oh my god.
And that would have been.
Moral of the story is, you think you crazy? Somebody's crazier than you.
And I've always even heard my cousin say, if I have to pull a gun on you, there's a 99% chance I'm going to fire. Yeah. Like,
But that's the thing about firearms.
Yeah.
You're not even supposed to be brandishing it or putting your finger on the trigger unless you're going to fucking use it.
Yeah. You can't.
You're not supposed to use it as a threatening thing.
How dare you?
Duel! I challenge you to a duel.
Right.
The fuck? Like, no, this is not. And that's
Wild West.
It really was a Wild South. Right. That's where they were. Yeah. But this is the seriousness that needs to be had when you possess firearms.
And you give dumbasses the authority to do that.
You take a class and they just give you a permit, but you still do whatever the fuck you want to with it after that. Like, you have to be careful. The fact that you left your child with that firearm in the car,
he could have been like, how does this work? And bam.
That's how I think a 4-year-old shot his 2-year-old cousin within the last week or two. Because he was just playing with firearm. And then one guy, he left the firearm in the backseat behind the chair in the mom's car, and the kid got to it and shot the mom and killed the mom. She didn't know it was in there because the dad left it in there.
See?
So you have to treat it like with your life. You have to make sure, like, hey, I have to go to the bathroom, but I'm cleaning my gun. Let me... either take it in there with me,
right,
or piss myself, because
Yeah.
you have other people around. You can't, think like, oh, they're not going to touch it, or I'm just going to be away for a second and blah, blah, blah. And all that shit happens. Like, there's more. There's a lot of responsibility that goes into having a firearm. Like, once you fuck around and fuck with that responsibility, then you don't need to have a firearm. That's just my point. I mean, I don't think that people should not be able to have them. But if you show that you can be irresponsible with that, right, then that's a problem to me. And that was being very irresponsible. Yeah. Not just the pulling the gun out at the time because she might have really felt threatened and she needed to brandish her firearm, but the part of her leaving Jace in the car with it is a problem for me. Especially if he doesn't know how to handle a gun. So there are some kids who know how to handle guns at 6, 7, 8 years old. Yeah. 7, 8, 9 years old. But they know what safety is. They know to not put their finger on the trigger. They know how to, never point it towards anything that you don't intend to shoot. Things of that nature. And I just know that just from going to the gun range. Yeah. Let alone actually possessing it in your home. Mm-hmm. But the fact that she's so distraught and so concentrating on the fact that she's talking to the officer and she doesn't say, hey, when I get out the car, can you please get my firearm? I don't want that firearm in my kid. Yeah. In the same place. So that was some crazy shit. I feel like after that incident happened real time, so a couple months ago, Barbara was like full-fledged, I need full custody or whatever the case may be. I mean, she does, but I think the driving part wasn't it. Took it to a whole new level. Took it to another level.
Like, this is what the fuck you do?
Mind you, Nathan can also use that now. So it's like she's the Randy, who is Chelsea's dad, put on social media like, where's a firearm with the kid? And then Chelsea like retweeted like, I was just thinking the same thing. And then Randy also said, I never thought I would say this, but David has the most sense in this situation. He was like, I thought I would never say that. So but that's pretty much what happened with that. That situation was scary. It was just a whole bunch going on. And I'm pretty sure she feels like after everybody was like, oh, people were saying he shouldn't have been in the front seat. Yeah. They were saying that you have to be 12 years old to sit in the front seat. I don't think that's right. Because you can be 12 and be itty bitty. Yeah. I think it depends on height and weight. I don't think it depends on age. But I mean, that's neither here nor there. If he was supposed to sit in the front seat or not. The bitch pulled out the firearm. If he would have lit that car up, it wouldn't matter what front seat or back seat he was in. Yeah. So, anyway, Kale took Chris to court for child support. And she felt like $300 some was a month. And she felt like it was unfair that her income cuts him some slack. Mm-hmm. And she said she was being nice, that she let him only do the minimum or something like that.
I mean, well, bitch, what was his income when you were fucking him?
Right?
Like, oh my God, okay. All right. You think by the third one you have learned something about the system.
I would even understand more of her attitude if she was actually in a full-fledged relationship or married to the man. Yeah. Like, I feel like that would have been a different situation, but y'all weren't even really together when you were pregnant with him. So now it's like same question you were asked, like, what was the situation before? Right. Hand.
Like, so he had a minimum wage job making $9 an hour. Well, he still has that minimum wage. Like, what? Okay, all right.
I don't understand what her issue is with this whole child support thing. Mind you, she has Joe on child support, she has Hobby on child support, and now she has Chris on child support. Now, as a single mom myself, I understand the importance of child support. There's nothing wrong with that. But I feel like sometimes you have to put some kind of pride aside. Like, what will you be more prideful in? The fact that you're forcing him to pay money that, he barely has, or the fact that you have enough money you don't even need it? Right. Or have him pay but put it in a trust. Right. So instead of complaining about the slack that he gets, just be like, you know what? Right. At least I can take care of my damn kids by my damn self.
Account, or be like, okay, this is chump change I can wipe my butt with. But okay, whatever.
Right.
He's doing his visitations, and I know. I don't watch it all the time, but I'm like, it feels like it just further backs up my opinion that she's just one of those people. It seems like she just always needs something to bitch about, complain about, and okay.
Yeah, she's not the most optimistic person in a lot of situations. Don't laugh. She's not, because it's very rare that she talks about stuff. Yeah. Now, in the scene for the next episode, she's talking with Javi. I guess Javi is telling her about the whole situation that happened in Miami, which they both got issues. They really do, because he feels like he can talk all this shit about Kale and like how he, she said this and did this and all that, but then he runs back to her like they're best friends.
She's like, well, I'm always right. Well, you wasn't right when you was riding this nigga's dick and got pregnant for the third time. Now you left.
Literally a nigga's dick. Literally a nigga's dick.
You weren't right on that. Like.
Right. Okay. And so I guess he was telling her about the whole situation. He was like, she was like, you should have been here with your kids, but you were with that bitch in Miami. And it's like, why does it even matter?
Because you're always right.
Was it his weekend? Because if it wasn't his weekend, what does it matter? That's not your dick anymore, right? Nope. She claimed.
She's just your sloppy seconds, right?
I mean, she claimed the last episode that she slept with him after they broke up. So I feel like she feels some sense of entitlement of used dick.
I mean, girl. I mean, you can have him. Like, I don't know. I guess, yeah.
It's just weird that. I mean, her kids are cute.
Yeah. That's cool.
Damn, that is whack.
Right. Yeah.
And Chelsea's still all peaches and roses and sunshine over there. I mean, she had a little situation where she had to like fill out paperwork for the visitation center for Adam and Aubrey, but she don't really have no bad storyline because all the people who was causing drama, they don't film anymore, which is Adam. She only films with her husband, her child, that cute little baby boy, and her dad and mom from time to time. That's pretty much it. So her storyline is never really going to be dramatic, but I don't think she'll ever not be a part of the show because it's a balance that the show needs. Because everyone else's storyline is full of drama. Even Leah's is not as bad, but now she has the drama of her fucking around with Jeremy. Again, that's what she says. Not me. I know it's Jeremy, but she says Jeremy. And the stuff going on with her daughter, that's kind of like, okay, which is another thing. But I mean, I guess Leah and Chelsea are the least dramatic storylines out of all of them right now. Yeah. I know Leah was pretty dramatic, but a lot has changed. Yeah, with that. But between Brianna, Jenelle, and Kale, right. God.
And I think that was the point I was trying to make a few episodes ago. I'm like them two, like Jenelle and Kale. It's like y'all life just seems to just always be like, don't you ever just get tired and be like, okay, let me go sit my ass in this corner and figure out how I can sort this shit out. Because I'm tired of dealing with y'all and all this shit. Like, it just...
To get to that point comes to a point of self-reflection and self-admission of how things are going on in your life. Yeah. If you feel like everyone else is a problem, which Kale and Jenelle both have a problem of doing, it's everyone else's fault. Yeah. They're going to continue to make the same mistakes over and over and over again. And some of those mistakes are just not user condom with some of these men.
And I get like, okay, yes, they're younger, but it's like, but you have way more responsibilities than, you're 25 with 2 and 3 kids. You have way more responsibility and much more on your plate than, me that's 31 by myself. Yes, I'm older, but still don't got nearly as much responsibility as you. And even I've had moments where I have to be like, you know what? Let me figure some shit out, because it's just too much chaos, and I need to figure out how to get some shit settled. Like,
but we're adults and we know how to do that. We know how to sit down like, okay, my life been kind of fucking crazy lately.
What the fuck?
Let me just sit my black ass down on this couch and figure out what I need to do to make sure it's not so crazy anymore. And I do that literally all the time.
It's like, Jesus. But,
But they're not. And then they have money now, too, which I think makes it a little bit worse. They feel like you just kind of do whatever and they don't really have to work for certain things.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kel went to school, but what does she really do besides MTV as of right now? I mean, she has a podcast where she can monetize on that. She's been able to monetize on that since episode 1.
Right.
I did hear a little bit. It was kind of whack. In a sense, it's very monotone, more so her co-host than her. She has a very monotone. Chrisley's the daughter.
Oh yeah, the oldest one.
Yeah. So
she wouldn't have been a good pick. Yeah.
She's very, very monotone and
I was like, I see why you're not a regular cast member on Chrisley Knows Best.
Yeah. It's just kind of weird. I mean, cool. Yeah, the episodes with Leah on it, Javi on it, those get a lot more play. And obviously because of who they were automatically going to get so many listeners. So they already got advertisers. So, they're just going to continue to do it because it's just easy fucking money at this point. Unlike us black bitches up in here, we still have a hard ass time. But, it is what it is. If it, but that money thing doesn't really help because I feel like if she was still in the situation she was in when it was Isaac, her and Joe, I don't think she'd be making some of the same. I feel like she would have been able to really reflect a lot quicker and not blame everything on everything else on everyone else. So it's just going to take them a lot longer. Yeah. Very few people can really adjust sooner than later. Chelsea is one of them. Yeah. Where she just kind of, honestly, it's just simple. She kind of worried about herself. Like, she finished her GED. She went to school to be an esthetician and all that. And she wound up seeing her husband at the gas station. Mm-hmm. Like, marrying him, having a kid. Not having another kid until married. I mean, technically she was pregnant when they got married, but still, you know what I mean.
It was at least a very committed relationship.
They were already living together at that point, like, running a household together. Aubrey was already considering him like a dad at that point. There were no question of whether they were going to make it or not. And then they got married and now they have another baby on the way, a little baby girl, I believe. Yeah. So it was just like, so that's as simple as that's the only person who really has been able to reflect on her life sooner than later. Yeah. Maybe from OG, Macy. Yeah. When it comes to her own personal life.
Yeah. Yeah. Because baby daddy stuff, that much can't really control.
She can't really do anything about that. Yeah. But she took care of, Bentley and did what she had to do, and then met her husband. They got married and got a house and 2 more kids and then run a business. It's actually pretty successful and stuff. Yeah. And that's just, it is what it is.
I mean, you can kind of say Tyler and Caitlyn, but they worry about themselves, but it's like it's not really like their problems is a result of them doing stupid shit.
No,
it's just
that's just a whole separate issue with self-care, health.
It's not like they
and
just
mental
out
health.
Here
That's
doing shit. And so I would put them in the category.
I definitely would. There's not a lot of. I mean, the simple fact that Caitlyn is like, you know what? I've been having these horrible thoughts about killing myself. I need to go to a facility. That right there is pretty much an example of what I'm talking about. It's definitely on a very high level of being able to self-reflect, but she knows that something's going on. She doesn't like the position that her life is in. She knows she needs to change it, and so she's doing something about it. But as far as like her and Tyler, they don't really make a whole bunch of like dumbass decisions. They don't really blame other people for what's going on with themselves. Like, they, own 2 homes and, had a house built from the ground up and try to help Butch and, like they're fine. They do fine with their daughter and they try to see Carly as much as they can. I will put them in the same category. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Macy, Tyler and Caitlin and Chelsea and Leah. You can put her in there now. Everybody else?
It's like, I do what I want.
Oh, celebrity news. Guess who they're adding to Team Mom OG to replace fucking Farrah?
Give me a second. Oh, what was it? No. Kylie's got way too much money. No. Jamie Lynn is an adult now. I'm just trying to think of all the teens that are pregnant.
I can't wait to give you this answer.
Who's up there?
Because there was a huge uproar in the comments.
Who?
Bristol fucking Palin.
Ah! What? I mean, granted, yes, she's not a teen. Oh. All right, Sarah.
She was a teen mom.
I know she was, yeah.
She was pregnant around the same time her goddamn mama.
Yeah.
And they were like, people in the comments like, out of all teen moms,
you know what?
picked
Go
this
ahead.
bitch.
Go on that show and make a further ass out of your mom and her bullshit politics. And yes, she's actually the perfect person.
That is true.
The hypocrisy, yes.
Yeah, there's...
Yes.
Show the dynamic that she
Sasha
tries to hide.
And
Malia.
Yeah, Malia is at Harvard and Sasha's just living her beautiful life. Yo ass is up here. Yes. Show it.
Ain't they bitches still in Alaska?
Mm-hmm.
I would hate to be the executive producer of her storyline. Right. Y'all bitches got me in fucking
Alaska. My check better be.
There's only 2 hours of nighttime now. Nah, we gonna have to switch.
I couldn't live there. All I'd want to do is sleep. I'd have to be rich. I can't have a job.
Can you imagine that poor producer of Farrah for all that time?
Every scene, I'm like, so my raise, my bonus, I know there's a cap.
You know what? I feel like MTV probably did do that. Like, I feel like if you do with anybody, if anybody deals with Farrah's storyline, you have like a differential pay. Yeah. Like you get an extra 20% because she is difficult to deal with at all times. But yeah, they asked her and people were like, this is just like, do you know who this bitch mom is? Like all the shit she said.
Go ahead and show it.
I mean,
good.
It was funny seeing him on, I want to say it was Trading Spouses.
Oh.
And they're like Celebrity Wife Swap. Trading Spouses was the original one. Yeah. And then Wife Swap came and then they did Celebrity Wife Swap and they Sarah Palin switched with some other person. And they were still living in Alaska, of course. Yeah. And I'm like, Alaska? Yeah. Can any of y'all bitches live in California? No one lives anywhere where it's like, cool, I don't mind being here. Yeah. I guess Orlando is probably the best place for Brianna. Yeah. Everybody else is like North Dakota, Tennessee, Virginia, now Alaska. Fuck that. No. Yeah. Mm-mm. But yeah, that's who they decided to add. I don't really see. Granted, Teen Mom original, the OG girls, when they first started 16 and Pregnant, they only had the 4 of them. Right. So, of course, they couldn't, like, Teen Mom 3 had a lot of them. So, if they wanted to replace them, they really could. They were going to replace her at one time, some girl named Mackenzie from Teen Mom 3. But it wound up not working out for some odd reason. So, they just picked that Palin bitch.
Well, this will be interesting. Yeah. I'm glad she on it. Good.
I wonder if Sarah's going to be on there.
Never say never.
I mean, didn't she just have a whole situation with her son trying to shoot people up?
Mm-hmm. That's why it's so funny. Because it's like, your campaign is against everything that your family stands for. But right?
Well, that's the thing. I feel like people use Christianity as a means to, you know, talk about gays, talk about Black people back in the day, trying to use the Bible as a means to why slavery was actually a good thing and things of that nature. But when it comes to themselves and their family, they can say, well, God forgives and all you have to do is repent and stuff. Right. Remember that one? I'm a God warrior. Yes. I don't want no demons in my house.
Like, God.
Get out. I have to repost that.
Like, I think you're the demon.
Best, if you never seen that fucking episode, Trading Spouses, by far one of the best episodes of all reality TV, honestly.
You know what? I was going to say that until I saw this very last episode of 90 Day Fiancé.
Which season? I'm on season 3.
It's season 3. Freaking Chantel's mom. She is the funniest
Really?
After Pedro and her son River got in a fight.
They got in a fight?
Yeah.
I'm almost there. I just started season 3 today.
Yeah. So they broke up the fight and his sister, Pedro's sister, was visiting. And as they're leaving the house, they're walking down the street, Chantel's mom. And the thing is, she tries to sound so intelligent
and professional.
But she's really stupid. She was like, because I guess Pedro's mom had called them stupid Americans last season. So she was like, you know what? They might have thought we were some stupid Americans, but things are going to get a lot more stupider.
Really?
Ma'am? And then she's like, I know for a fact. It's like they're trying to piece together puzzles that's already put together. So it's like, what are you doing? She's like, I know that there are people that they try to meet somebody in America so they can harvest the American dollar. What are you harvesting?
Bitch,
who harvests the dollar?
So she's trying to be different than everybody in all the other seasons. Just say a green card.
Right. And then to come over here to get their money on the American dollar, because for them, it's like they hit the jackpot. No, it's not, bitch. We broke too. Just in different...
No, they can't really go that far with it. And then there's still exchange fees and rates.
And so Pedro and River, they got into a fight. They break it up. Pedro and his sister leaves because she was coming to visit. So she's like outside chanting, immigration for Pedro E. Nicole. Immigration for Pedro E. Nicole.
So E is only in Spanish.
I'm like, bitch, you can't call immigration on somebody that's visiting. Like, she's not.
She already has, but she's from Mexico. She doesn't need a visa.
She's from the DR, but she was there visiting her brother. It's like, you can't call immigration on somebody who's visiting.
They don't need a visa to come here.
No.
What the fuck?
And then Chantel's in the house just hysterically crying, and she's in the camera. She's like, Pedro y Nicole es muy mal for mi familia. Pedro. Just no type of...
Wait, is this 90 Day Fiancé or the 90 Day Fiancé, where are they now? Because the fight is recent.
Yeah, it might be like,
it's not on. Yeah. Okay, it's not on the original 90. I'm watching the original 90 Day Fiancé, but season 3 is where they introduce them. But I remember promos of a fight happening, and it was like a black family.
I think they're on season 2 too, because I think they filmed their trip to the DR, and they said it was like a year ago. Mm-hmm. So I'm like,
no, I think it's the spinoff one. Yeah,
and
they probably continue.
Just like, lady, just stop. Just
Nicole.
stop. Pedro E.
And I would be like, bitch, I came on a plane. What do you mean immigration? Do what? Bitch, I have a flight back.
Like, what are you talking?
They're gonna come as she's supposed to be leaving, right?
Right, and it's just hilarious.
Well, I'll once I see it, then I can put it in the category.
Funny. And I was like, I think it's just so funny because she really thinks that she sounds really intelligent and you're not gonna get over on me, but it's like you getting over on yourself by saying this stupid shit.
Man, ain't nothing worse than a ditzy black chick.
Oh yes,
it's horrible.
Yes, that's exactly what she is. It's hilarious. Mm-mm. I said, God bless his family, and they go everywhere to get. I'm like, why is the sister, the brother. Why are all y'all here? Like, just every little...
She did say in the episode I watched, it's like, we're a very tight-knit family. We do everything together.
Yeah.
She was just Googling eyes for Pedro.
Yeah. I'm like,
all because she wanted to learn some fucking Spanish.
Yeah.
She wanted to get some Spanish dick.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm like,
Lord.
Bless them. I'm like, y'all, I don't feel like Pedro used her for it. Like, I really think he does love her. I think they do have issues with both of their families where it's like, okay, y'all need to kind of both tell y'all families to butt out. Mm-hmm. And then y'all have some issues that y'all kind of need to figure out too. On their own. You know, but I'm like, I don't think he was like, I'm here to get a green card. I don't think so. Things are going to get a lot more stupider. You just can't. I say, you can't make this up. This is real.
Well, I can put it. When I see it, I'll put it in the list of best reality TV. But this lady from Trading Spouses about being a God warrior. Yeah. And then the bitch had the audacity to wind up accepting the money after she ripped up the check. She did. And then she got a gastric bypass with it.
She might still be the top. Yeah, it was. This check. Wait, give me some tape.
Yeah, they did on the little end. Like, oh, she wound up accepting it and blah, blah, blah. I am not going to let demons tell me what to do in my own house. Cut. If you don't believe in God, you can get out. Yeah. I guess she was like, wait, it's like that meme was like, fuck this shit. It was like, wait, I need these papers. Right. Like, they was just like that. It was just like that. But that was probably one of the best moments in reality TV besides something New York said or, there's just some moments that you would never, ever forget. They need to do I loved like the 2000s, but strictly for reality TV. Yeah. That would be fucking
episode like that.
We should.
That would be a whole lot of memories, but like really just like take a week and be like, okay.
And just dedicate the time.
What's the top 5 for you? What's the top 5 for me? And then we just...
No, we definitely should do that. That's going to be a nice
little... that's good. That's about a good 10 years.
Yeah.
Of reality TV that I have.
Surreal life.
15. Because if I go back to the real world...
Oh, Lord. That in itself is...
That's a good, 16, 17.
Right.
Idea.
Yes. All right. Light bulb doing it. During the episode. But, I forget what we were talking about. Oh, Wife Swap Palin. So, yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens on that fucking show, but
Good. Expose the hypocrisy. I'm ready.
Expose the hypocrisy. Yeah. I mean, I just hate how all these white people who's like Trump supporters and stuff like that, they'll be so quick to see a black woman with her kid, not even know that she's married or not, and automatically assume that she's on welfare and the dad's not around. Yeah. But a bitch like Bristol can have a kid at 16 years old, and because they're Christian, they'll just say, "Oh, well, God will forgive you.
God makes no mistakes." Okay.
Made a mistake when you made your ass.
Right.
So, but yeah, that's just, it's mind-boggling. Like, oh my God. All right. So we're just going to do that because they're white. Awesome. White privilege.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know if you want to talk about this Charmaine situation with Black Ink.
Oh, why not? Well,
so Charmaine was being a little bitch, according to her mom.
Oh, all right. When mom says you got to kind of do some reflection, like
because Charmaine felt like no one was listening to her and wanted to do what she wanted to do, so she wanted to buy LLC under everybody's nose, and nobody was fucking having it. She wanted to charge 50% booth rent and try to give these fools fucking paychecks. What tattoo artist gets paychecks? You always pay cash to the direct artist,
right?
She wanted for them to pay up front and charge 50%. So the tattoo costs you charge $300. She wants you to give her $150 of that. And then you get the rest of the $150 every 2 weeks in a paycheck where they can take out taxes.
See?
So a $350 tattoo, you're really only getting about $150 from. That's crazy.
See, Ryan saying it's his shop don't sound so bad now, does it?
No. Well, Ford catch himself talking to Ryan at his shop like, things ain't really going at the other shop like they're supposed to. But then he wound up like not going with Ryan's offer. He was like, well, shit, you can just come here. It ain't that big of a deal. But, so Lily and the new girl was like, fuck this, we going on strike. Oh, Day one, Lily finishes a tattoo. Yeah. And Charmaine has a little iPad in her hand. She was like, I need your credit card so I can charge you for the tattoo. She was like, you're not taking my money from my tattoo. And he was like, he was like, I don't even have like a card. I only have cash. She was like, I only deal with cash. And she was like, well, you can just give me the cash. He was like, and then Ford was like, you can't just take people cash like that. And Lily was like, I'm going to walk out my client and we'll discuss this later. So she got her cash. So, of course, none of that shit worked. Yeah. Day 2, same thing. Everybody was like, fuck that shit. Day 3, she wound up not even going to the office. So, Lily was like, shit, we're going to go on strike. Talking about they're being slave labor, the witch this, the witch that. They got a big old blow up witch to go outside of the thing. They called it Charmaine, and then the goddamn production put Charmaine on the on the bottom of it. Like, this is Charmaine, this big gigantic inflatable witch. And then they taped the sign on the hand that said "suck my dick." And then they had signs like outside, like protesting. Wow. They were like, well, fuck that, we ain't gonna work. Because she tried to use the LLC as a means to be the manager to fire Lily. But Lily, she kept coming to work. It was like, bitch, you can't fire me. And everybody was just letting Lily come. So she just kept on working. Right. She couldn't really tell them, like, she can't physically, push her out. Right. And then, when she was outside doing the protest, Charmaine was like, I'm just going to call the police. I'm like, when did you turn white, bitch?
Can't do that.
And then Ford was like, don't do that. And she was like, literally like, how I want to. Ford took that phone and must have chucked it across the room like, bitch, don't call the police. He's like, when did we get to the point where we have to start adding authorities to our problems? Like, come on now. Because she was annoyed that they were protesting. I'm like, I mean, they can kind of do what they want. Yeah. So, whatever. So, what's her face? The tall one. The tall big girl.
Oh, what was I going to say? Cat. Cobra.
There we go. She comes out of nowhere because I guess Lily called her and said, hey, we're opening our own shops to come back, because she was in Texas with her family. And they kind of told her like what was going on. And then she goes inside like, hey, I need to know what's up so I can see if I need to make moves. She was like, what do you mean make moves? She's like, well, they told me that you were going to charge 50% booth rent. You were going to give us paychecks. And if that was the case, I'm not staying here. I don't know why Charmaine got mad, but she was like, well, let's go outside. And I guess she got like a knife or something to cut the big inflatable witch. And then, of course, Lily started throwing hands. And then they're over here scrapping, and then the witch falls down like slowly because it got cut.
So did Lily beat her up again?
Yes.
Oh my God. Charmaine, girl, you gonna learn.
She was like, I remember when the other episode, she was like, look at my face. You punched me in my face. And Lily was like, if you watch what you say, then nobody will have to punch you in your face.
Yeah, because that hit was clean.
Oh, yeah. I halfway feel like she painted that on for some reason.
Look at my, what show or movie?
She didn't have any makeup on.
Where's that show or that movie from? Look at my face. Where is it from?
Oh, man. I know what you're talking about.
Look at what you did to me.
That also happened to Sunday.
Yeah. Look at my eye. And like, girl, don't you? Ooh, I would have just sat in my room. Like,
and the man was like, damn.
You're right.
Don was being a little bitch. He didn't want to go to because Ashley came in town because he got that DUI. She was concerned. He walked up and was like, I ain't about to take this shit. But then they wound up going to counseling. And she pretty much says she doesn't forgive him still. But he kept trying to overtalk her. Like, she was like, he's been with all these women. He was like, stop saying that. It ain't all these women. I'm thinking, no, it really is all these women.
Like, every season, it's a different woman.
Yes.
Like, jeez.
Yeah, he's still blaming everything else except his penis.
He needs to do some self-reflection.
That's one who needs self-reflection. Van gets into it with his girlfriend because apparently his brother called him and said, "Oh, I saw your girlfriend with some man." You know how Van get. Mm-hmm. And of course, he's yelling, fussing and cussing, and she wound up fussing and cussing. Then she broke in his house and like took a whole bunch of his shoes and stuff. And then Nikki was like, "Bitch, you crazy. Like, why are we here?" And he got mad and blah, blah, blah. Ryan got Rachel a new car for Mother's Day. Mm-hmm. I think that's pretty much all. Oh, what the fuck? What's that girl name? Charmaine cousin.
Oh,
Danielle. Her ex-fiance re-proposed and became the fiance again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, even after she burned his clothes. He made this grand gesture at some random ass restaurant in front of all these insignificant people. And just did a slideshow of pictures from when they were in high school for the past 10 years. And I'm like, you're really that gullible, that fast? You showed you some pictures and you're like, yes, I'll marry you again.
Yeah.
Weirdo. Young love. It's not young love anymore. Young love, you can't say young love anymore after like 25.
Well, if your mindset is still young. Young love.
Well, if you put it that way, then yes. I retract my statement. But yeah, that's the gist of Black Ink. Next episode, they go to Jamaica, and then Junior and Ryan and them wind up down there at the same time. And then people get in fights and blah, 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 all that kind of shit. Love and Hip Hop did premiere last night. Hollywood.
Oh, yeah.
There's a stripper girl trying to get into the music industry.
I mean, there's always one.
And then she was at a party shaking her ass. She definitely looks like Tokyo Toni. And she was shaking her ass in front of A1's face. And then she's like, "Hey, let me talk to you." And he was like, "What's up?" He was like, "Well, I'm really trying to get in the industry." And he was like, "Oh shit." Like, and then his interview was like, another stripper bitch trying to get in the music game. He's like, "Spit some for me." And then she was like, all quiet. He was like, "I can't even hear you. How you trying to get in the music industry? I can't even hear you." And that shit was weird. K. Michelle and Lyrica got into it because apparently Lyrica was late for a show, but Lyrica said she wasn't late for the show. And then Kimberly turned it to K. Michelle and called her Storm, which was pretty funny. She had like a blonde wig on with some leather and with some spandex shorts. Yeah. I think LA is so bad with trendy clothes. Like once you see one thing, one pant, one pair of shoes, one hairstyle, everybody will have it. Yeah. So I did have started seeing these spandex short things that people I even saw Kim Kardashian wear it to some event like a week or so ago. Yeah. And it's like everybody starts doing it because LA is such a like, oh, well, everyone's doing it's the hottest trend and blah, blah, blah. Even black people too, child. Yeah. So, it gets to the point where they were arguing and then Lyrica left and then K. Michelle got an IV put in her arm for like fluids. Yeah. You know, she's still sick from her ass. Yeah. It sounds so bad. But Lyrica come back in because she's like, I don't want her to have the last word. And she's over here trying to fight her with this IV in her arm. And then the thing is like dragging. And she's like, she really couldn't get to her. So she took a stool and pushed it and was like, bitch, get out of here. What are you doing? Get the fuck out of here, Storm.
Oh my goodness.
Lyrica is definitely like telling people off. Yeah. And it's only been one episode.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah. And then that's when Lyrica went to that party where the stripper was and saw the stripper in A1's face.
Get a deal.
And she's like, what are you doing? That's a whole husband. Like, you over here shaking your ass.
I'm trying to get a whole record deal.
And whole dollars. Like, leave me be. And she's just like, I don't want no disrespect. I'm just doing my job. You know, she gave her a handshake. She was like, what the fuck are you doing? He was like, I'm just working. Like, it's just business. She's like, you do business with people shaking ass in your face? You got this, bitch. And then she said, bitch. Mm-hmm. The stripper, which her name is Apple Watts. You know you have Miracle Watts.
Right. I was like, your little cousin?
Apple Watts.
Okay.
She was like, well, this bitch is Apple Watts. She was like, and then Lyrica's like, some rotten apple or something like that. And she was like, I can get rotten. I can get rotten. She said it like 10 to 15 times. It's like, if you can get rotten, why don't you do it already? Instead of just saying it over and over and over again. And then that's when Lucci was performing in some rented ass mansion with rented ass people, you know, with their rented ass claps.
Right.
Because, you know, they got paid to be there. And that's when all that shit had happened. And and then she slapped A1. Of course, they didn't show it. They like blacked it out and then went back. And then they went outside. He was like, let's just go outside because he was embarrassed. And she was like, she told him she was mad because she saw that shit and she had just got finished with the whole K. Michelle shit. And then he was like, what, K. Michelle? What happened? And then she told him. And then A1 goes to K. Michelle's house. Mind you, he produced some of the records on her last album.
Yeah.
And he told her straight up, you can't sing.
Oh my goodness.
Your album was garbage.
Oh my goodness.
And I had to even melodize your vocals because you can't sing.
Oh my goodness.
And then she was like, you a fake ass Bob Marley. And he was like, you moon pie and ass. I know you don't care for Love and Hip Hop, but the back and forth at this point was so funny. And when they were still in the backyard, like talking, he was like, well, your album was garbage. He was like, are you serious, sis?
But you did some of the songs.
That's what she said. She was like, well, you produced some of the songs. He was like,
well, all the other songs.
I had to melodize your vocals. I was like, you know, you just pretty much calling yourself trash, right? And you can't sing. Everybody was comments like, that bitch can't sing. What are you talking about? It was fun, but the roasting back and forth.
Like they both were like,
it was.
It was funny enough. Finally met her match in A1.
Oh, moon pie head ass. It was like, what? Is this a
like high school?
Yeah, just a nice little roasting session during lunch period.
Right.
And yeah, so that part was funny. Then you have the whole Ray J versus Princess versus the Norwoods.
Yeah.
And then Princess against Moniece.
Like, girl, you ain't gonna win none of them battles.
So,
well, maybe Moniece, but
remember there was like rumors that Ray J cheated on Princess when she was pregnant.
That, yeah.
So apparently she had put some stuff up on social media.
Yeah.
And Mama got into it. Yeah,
you can come for Brandy all you want to, but you even just look at Ray J wrong and Sonia Norwood is ready to...
Yeah, so...
Classic case of favoritism, which is like, really? But it's always the deadbeat kid that gets the most love, sadly.
Yeah, or the one that causes the most problems.
Yeah.
So he wound up missing from Princess for 6 days, 5 days, 6 days, and her pregnant ass. Mm-hmm. And he finally goes home, and Sonya just perched up on the couch, just randomly. He was like, why are you here? And why do you still have a key? I just had something important to tell you. I don't appreciate Princess, your wife. And she used air quotes. I'm like, bitch, that is his wife. Unless you're trying to tell us that shit was fake.
Which...
Where's my sunglasses?
Right.
What you trying to tell me? What you trying to tell us, Mrs. Norwood? I mean, they really didn't sign.
I love Brandy, but it wouldn't be the first time, Sterling was lied about, the oath of marriage.
Runs in the family, bitch.
Right. I'm here for it.
Are you even married to Mr. Norwood?
Is anybody?
So, and she was like, she shouldn't be putting out her business about her husband, about him cheating, and he didn't even do it. I'm thinking, bitch, how do you know he didn't put his dick anywhere?
He was with me the whole. It would not surprise me. Like,
she's definitely one of those mamas who feels like their son can do no wrong. Absolutely at all. And she was like, she needs to give a public apology. And I was just like, woman, you don't need to do anything. Yeah. I understand you've been the manager for your kid since birth. Right. That part I do understand. But this ain't man. This is mama, and you need to mind your own business.
Right, unless you can vouch that he was with you at the time of these alleged cheating.
He probably still in the house. With that don't mean he didn't have no other vagina in the house.
He probably would, and you ain't gonna say shit.
Probably was sneaking girls in.
Probably wasn't even sneaking.
Probably true.
Hey, Mom, you know Kim. not that Kim, but you know Kim.
Wrong selection of a name. Right. You know Sandra.
Right.
We're just going to work on music.
Right.
And instead of like saying, Mom, stay out of my business, he was like, yeah, you right. Yeah, you right.
And that's why he is the way he is.
And that's why she keeps having this problem, because she feels like now that he is a husband, now it's even worse that you don't have your wife's back. Mm-hmm. Because once you have a wife, that position of priority kind of shifts.
Yeah.
From your mom to the mother of your child. Like, she's literally pregnant with your child. And so, the next clip of the next episode, he tries to tell her, like, you need to apologize to my family. She was like, your family has done way more to me than what they think I've done to them. Yeah. She's like, I'm not apologizing. And on top of that, they owe me an apology. Right. Because I guess Brandy and her was going back and forth through text too about whatever. I'm like, did y'all even, she was like, well, you need to tell your family the whole story, because they don't even know the full story, but they're coming at me like they think they know everything. Like, you need to tell them what's really going on so they can stop coming at me. Yeah. Which is like, I feel like he be doing some shit. He pushed the bitch in the pool.
Granted, she swung first, but he...
I'm sick of this.
She should have treaded on more even grounds. But yeah, that will always be a classic.
And so then you have... Oh my God, so much drama. Nikki brings in Paris, who was K. Michelle's friend, but then they weren't friends anymore because she stole from the bitch. Yeah. According to K. Michelle. So Paris is close friends with Princess also. Mm-hmm. So Paris winds up at 80's fashion show, which is Monique's girlfriend. Yeah. Through... What's that chick's name? The other girl who was messing with Booby, which is Brooke Valentine's.
Oh, Bridget?
Yes, Bridget. So Bridget and Paris were at the okay. So she realized, first of all, she goes to this fashion show, don't even know who's it for. And then when she finds out, she said, hold on, I'll be back. She goes outside just to send a text. I'm like, if you're only sending a text, why do you have to go outside?
Maybe she didn't have service. Just a thought.
So, bitch, you didn't even have Wi-Fi capabilities?
3G. Okay.
3G.
I don't have the password. I'll be back.
Well, I guess just don't if you want to play devil's advocate, let's just say she didn't have service. So she didn't have service. She went all the way outside to send a whole text to Princess. Yeah. Say, oh, this bitch Monique is here, whatever the fuck she said. Yeah. Princess pregnant ass. Right. Goes to the fashion show. Mind you, the fashion show isn't for Monique. Yeah. It's for AD. Right. But she goes to the DJ, takes the whole mic, and starts talking all this shit to Monique in the mic in front of everybody in front of an 80's fashion show. No. And she was like, well, who says that such and such is carrying a baby? I'm clearly pregnant. And she was like, you know what? Come to me after I have this baby. Maybe I could teach you how to be a mom. Now, Monique was just sitting there the whole time. Mr. A, he was like rubbing her back. He was there. And when she said, I'll teach you how to be a mom, the girl got up out her seat. She picked up that chair and she tried to throw it. Yeah. Now, of course, Mr. Ray, AD was like, get my face! Like, oh my God, you can't just, like, do that.
Yeah.
But I also feel, kind of like in the Jenelle situation, it's like, this bitch has tried to fight you multiple times.
Yeah.
In multiple avenues and arenas and whatever. You're pregnant.
Right.
You're about 5.5 months pregnant. Clearly pregnant. You feel like she ain't gonna do nothing?
Yeah.
Some people don't give a fuck. So I feel like you kind of need to be careful what you do while you're pregnant. Because in her interview, she was like, I don't like the Norwoods. I don't like her. I don't give a fuck what happens to that family, baby included.
Right.
And that's what she said. So was she wrong for trying to throw a table at the pregnant lady? Yes.
Yeah.
But pregnant lady, stay your ass at home until the baby drops. Mm-hmm. Because guess what? What if security wasn't there? Yeah. What if a situation where she saw you on the street and she just saw red and started fighting?
Yeah.
Like, you got to be smart about your tactic of trying to, you know, of course, she knows the whole mom thing is going to tick Moniece off.
Yeah.
Of course, she said it. And of course, so Moniece slowly walks to the back of and goes out the side door to try to go get her to the car. And they was like, go get her. They were like, really did not want Moniece to get to her because they knew that she was going to punch her.
Yeah.
That was dramatics in itself. And so it's just like Princess is not having, I mean, she has some friends. Paris was just, at the first episode she already messy as fuck, texting Princess.
Yeah.
It's like, leave that pregnant lady alone.
Yeah.
She already, like, don't need to have any kind of stress whatsoever. Right. And now you want to get her all hyped up and stuff. And then when you pray,
it's like, yo, that bitch Moniece is here. Well, you know what? Tell that bitch I'll see her in 5 months. Right? Like, girl. Okay, I guess.
I mean, yeah, because Moniece said that Brandy was being the surrogate of... Yeah. Because... you know, she's fat.
Right. Brandy gained weight. She's living her best life.
But let me tell you the disrespect that Paris said in her interview. She said, this bitch over here talking about Moesha carrying Princess's baby. And Kennegan was like, how dare you call her Moesha? That girl's name is Brandy.
Okay? She has so much accolades and respect that goes beyond Moesha. Now, don't get it twisted. Moesha, I can still watch that show from start to finish, but...
But the way she said it is like, I don't even think you really know her name.
Yeah.
Because she just said, you can't be doing that to Moesha, and blah, 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 blah.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Like,
she already sounds like an idiot, so... And then she's just doing too much already. It's like, you know when they do too much, it's like...
She was like that when she was on K. Michelle's spinoff, just always doing extra. Yeah. Yeah, it was just like a lot.
Yeah, and then of course everybody's kind of close with K. Michelle on the show because they feel like... And then I forgot, Edwin was like, you'll never be Beyonce. You'll never be Rihanna. She was like, I wasn't trying to. Right. Which... No one can be like
them. And clearly she's not trying to at all. So.
No. He was like, you're banned from radio because you fucked up with promos. You never showed up to promos and blah, blah, blah. Which, yes, I kind of feel like K. Michelle is nowhere near the peak that she can be at for some odd reason. Now, I don't really be all up in her music business and see what's going on behind the scenes and stuff. And if she's really a diva, I don't know. But I feel like she can do much better than House of Blues.
Yeah. At this point.
Like, she really can sing, you know. So, but I mean, he was like, you can just Google it. She banned from radio. Which, I mean, Can't Raise a Man did pretty well on radio, but I haven't really heard much after that. Yeah. On the radio. Mm-mm. But then again, I don't listen to radio that much anyway. Yeah. But when I did, I don't think I really heard that much from her. I feel like Tamar got way more radio play. Yeah. Than K. Michelle did post Can't Raise a Man. Yeah. But anyway, okay, Michelle, you just mad because you want to fuck Safari? Now, Lyrica had this look on her face like, bitch, what you say? How'd you know?
Me too. Like,
what she said, and then she was like, yeah, she went over here and get with my big dick friend Safari. Now, K. Michelle can't be messy, but she definitely does have a lot of one-liners, and I have to give her that. She's very entertaining on the show. Right. And the look on her face was like, I think you do want Safari's dick. Mind you, he won in the sperm count challenge. Right. When him, Ray J.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
And A1 went to get their sperm count.
Now it all makes sense.
Right?
1 year later. It all makes sense.
And, you know, everybody saw his little, I mean, a lot of people saw his little penis, not little penis, his eggplant on Twitter. You probably could look up the hashtag now or search for it and you probably would still find it. Exactly. Twitter is horrible with deleting stuff. They just kind of let things fly. Instagram, they're really quick at deleting stuff. And, you know, maybe she was like, well, I've been trying to get a baby and, you know, Safari got a big dick and he has a lot of sperm. So maybe, you know, we can work something out. She told, K. Michelle told Lyrica she's fake. She was like, everything is fake about you, just like your marriage. She was like, I'm faking my marriage. Yes. She's like, I might say a lot of things, but I'm not a liar. She's faking her marriage. It's like, oh my God. Jesus. Kimberly. And they have the audacity to say, Kimberly, formerly known as K. Michelle.
Oh, no. No, bitch, you are not Prince, okay?
She did say, I'm Kimberly, formerly known, artist formerly known as K. Michelle.
No.
I'm over here.
I will not entertain that at all, K. Michelle.
Trying to make it work in LA, and I just feel like I'm going to do real good here.
You felt that way in New York, and then back in the, okay? You're going to feel that way next season in Miami. Then you're going to feel that way when Mona finally goes to Houston.
I know, Houston taking forever.
You're just going to tag along to all the places.
Right.
Yeah. Look, K. Michelle, sometimes I might call you Kimberly, but you're, no.
She does, like, describe K. Michelle as that bitch. So she's like, if you want K. Michelle to come out, just keep on.
Kimberly, look. You got to do a whole lot more transformation and taking your ass implants out for me to be like, formerly known. No. You're still K. Michelle. I need you to do some type of transformation in your life to where I'm like, I get it. You don't want that alias anymore. Mm-hmm. You're still K. Michelle. But if you want people to call you by your government name, I can respect that.
Well, I would rather just say it, like, I'm kind of tired of K. Michelle. Just call me Kimberly. It's fine.
No, you're not going to be formerly known as.
Even in the description of the episode on the app, it says Kimberly, parentheses, K. Michelle.
Ooh.
Like, Mona went all out.
Right.
Make sure you put that on.
Bitch, who do you think you are? Fern Mayo? Like, we don't know who you are? Like,
yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Is it Fern Mayo or are you Violet? Look, bitch. I see past the wig and the makeup, okay? I still never understood on that movie. Like, so no one realizes that Violet is Fern Mayo? Really? Classic.
For some reason, you remind me of Miss Shirley.
Because it's making me mad. Y'all these waist trainers. It ain't godly. You and your aliases, but you still the same.
Anybody ever, if you ever heard about Miss Charlene, please Google it. Just, especially if you are part of the church folk, you know. Right. If you got church folk in your family and all that, it's just, you have to.
Jesus.
Oh no, he said it was. She was like, the pastor was like, I just want to know why we ain't invited to your barbecue. She was like, because y'all ain't invited. You over here looking like a mess every Sunday. And then the girl recorded it. It was like, faithfully. You gonna let the devil use you? He gonna use me.
Lord. And Mona is using them, Lord.
That's the devil. The devil's been using all these people for her coins on all these shows that she's producing strictly with VH1. I think the only show I've seen her do outside of VH1 was the Escape docuseries on Bravo, because she was their manager.
Oh yeah, she did that other show where it was based in Atlanta. I forgot the name of it. With Africa and...
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, she produced that show too.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Africa Miranda.
Yeah.
I remember her. I kind of like that show from what I can remember, but I can't remember if it was too much drama.
Oh yeah, because the white girl was funny. She coming here with that messed up weave? No, ma'am. I remember that. Yeah, that was a good show.
You know, it was a good show that was on. Fuck, it was the same channel that T and Tamara, their reality show, was on, and it was based in Atlanta.
Oh, I
it
know
was like white girl, black girl, and their parents. And remember, the girl got
season 2 of something,
and then the black girl got arrested at the golf club.
Was it big? Not Big Rich Texas. Was it
Big Rich Atlanta? Yes, because they did have Big Rich Texas.
Yes, that was a good show.
Yeah, it was. When Jerseylicious was, they got rid of that channel, or they switched it to something else. What, I forget what the channel was called.
Style, because Jeannie Mai was a big
Style
on there.
Yeah,
big time.
But yeah, they actually had some pretty good reality TV shows.
Mm-hmm.
But that's before it got really, really bad
and scripted. And
like, I mean, parts of it probably was scripted or planted, but for the most
were better
part,
actors.
For the most part, I felt like if they were dealing with really rich people who didn't know what the fuck they were doing, I feel like they were really rich people who didn't know what the fuck they were doing. Yeah. They were just gullible into what production's ways were, and they just kind of followed in on them. But yeah, VH1 is like, I don't really have a lot of good shows where that's the least amount of scripts going on as possible. I think the least scripted shows are like reality TV shows are The Challenge. Yeah. They don't need to do shit. They just sit back and just let everybody just wring their necks on each other. What else? I had one in my mind, but I already forgot.
Yeah,
Anywho. I feel like it's enough for today.
Yeah, we covered a lot.
Yeah, a lot more than I planned. And don't forget to follow us, the show, on social media. RealiTEA_V on Instagram, Facebook, and Instagram and Twitter. RealiTEA-V on Facebook. Or you can do the @ RealiTEA-V with no space or underscore, anything like that.
It's easy to find us.
Yeah, it is. It pretty much is. We also have a Facebook group called Tea Sipper Discussions. And you can follow me on social media, Fumia Dagoon, on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
Yep.
And that's pretty much it.
Yes.
So enjoy your week, and we'll talk to you later.
Bye.